this world today. Ain't nobody gonna take a fame. We going in. Yeah, we going in.
Time I was 12, we came out with like our first official cover, and it like blew up on YouTube, and it just kind of like snowballed from there. So I'm very grateful for that experience of being in girl groups, but I started at 12, I say. Um, I got into the industry at 12, and I turned 20 earlier this year, and there's just been a lot of things that could have like held me back or like, set me back, that I didn't allow to. So the numbers 20 and 12 are very significant to me. And when I was doing my rebrand, I was like, I have to incorporate that. And I just thought it sounded very like cool and like just different. So yeah, that's where the 2012 came from.
I love it when there's a story, first of all, behind the formation of an artist name or a talent name, brand name, company name, all the etc. And I like how you got it spelled. It's 20X11, which I think is Roman numeral. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. Or better yet, 10 and then the 1 and 1. So because X is 10. But either way, like a lot of people probably wouldn't have broke that down or understood why you call yourself 2012. And the significance behind it. So thank you for being a hot talent here in the Hotzone. And we're going to dive in some more. You gave us a lot in that scoop with the 10th degree and being a model and rebranding and being a part of a girl group, going to AGI. I'm summing all this up in like 2 seconds, which is crazy. Going to a school in Atlanta called AGI. So from there, let's work our way up. You're 20 this year, hey, 2 decades old, turn up. Let's go from there. So you're 20. What is going on in the midst of that gap between the age of 3 and when you got into it, put your tappet shoes on, modeled, all this, etc.? What is some significant milestones you would like us and the listeners to know from the tender age of 3 to the age of 20 currently?
Currently, man, there's been so much that I've got to experience at such a young age and being blessed to experience. I would definitely say in the girl group called Pink Heart, we had a song called Super Cali that was on Radio Disney. And then you know how girl groups be, we transformed and changed and got it turned into a duo. And then we had songs on BET Jams and Nickelodeon Music. There were a lot of things at a very young age that I got to experience. And I stopped public school at like 7th grade because I was like, I don't have time for public school. Like, this is what I wanted. And so even now being a solo artist, I made that decision at the age of 18, so 2 years ago. And it's been really cool. I moved from Atlanta to LA. So that within itself has been really cool. And just getting to experience meeting new people and new producers. And I wanted to really do a whole reset. Like I wanted to be in a place I was not really familiar with. And once I got to a point where I was like, no, I need to change up everything. And I did a rebrand. I just felt like it was the perfect place, the perfect time, and in 2012 being the perfect name for it because it's a part of my story. The numbers are.
So thank you for making this like my welcome back to the podcast world and the interview. It's easy to talk to you. I feel your uniqueness. I feel your purity through this interview. I move a lot and I talk a lot and I'm excited, but that also comes in place because of the guests I am interviewing. So thank you for being so powerful and so powerful in this interview. So let's segue into, I'm reading your bio. That's why I'm kind of looking on multiple screens. Let's talk about today, with you living in Los Angeles. The Mecca, first of all, coming from a Mecca to another Mecca from a whole different era, from the, the Hollywoods and it's just massive in Los Angeles. Let's talk about that transition from going from Atlanta to LA.
Going from Atlanta to LA was definitely different. I will say when I first got out here, I was like, ooh, child, I'm ready to go back. I was like, I missed the Southern cooking. I missed like my family and everyone. And I do have family out here, thankfully. So it wasn't too hard to like really feel more at home here. But it was definitely a switch. The people out here are different. there's just a lot of, you know, like LA, it can be cool, but then it can really just be like a lot of fake stuff going on. And it made me realize, okay, I need to just stay focused on what I got going on, leave that over there. People be trying to reel you into stuff. Leave that over there. But outside of that, it's like, and I still go back home to Atlanta because I have to, you know, I have to go back and get some real good American deli or some JJ's or something. But I appreciate all that LA has been teaching me and helping me grow as an artist and as an individual.
That is amazing I really like when an artist moves and transitions to two hot spots, by the way, and then talk about the journey and the lessons and how that all mashed with that transition. So thank you for taking that question and like exploring it to the way that I imagined it when I asked it. So this part of the interview is basically the hot spices. So we're talking about a lot of things 2012, like everything about the aspect. So we're going to segue into this new single that brought you here on In the Hotzone with DJ Most Precious.
Yes.
We're going to talk about Locked In featuring Destin. Talk about the songwriters, the production. How did you produce? Like, how did you record it? Was you in the closet? Was you in the master studio? Like, were you walking down the street? Like, we like to envision how a song was created. So let's talk about Locked In and how you came about it, the inspirations, the ins and outs, the pros and cons. Let's just get into it. It's time
Yeah,
to
yeah.
2012 new single Locked In featuring Destin, Hero in the Hot Zone. Let's talk.
Yes, yes. I love this record for one. I appreciate Destin Laurel for hopping on. Like that's my bro. Like he's so cool, so down to earth. So I was in Atlanta and I was with Faro Jaro and him Logic and Destin. We were all locked in the studio, no pun intended. And I was playing this Brazilian funk beat that I found like on Apple Music, and I was like, it has to be something like this. Like I wanted something in that vibe, in that range. And immediately Faro and him Logic got, you know, to work, and then like there was like a bass that I kept hearing, and we just kind of like put it all together. And as soon as they finished the production, I immediately had the chorus in my head, and it just kept like repeating. And I wanted something like that was just repetitive and fun and just carefree. And so then I went in, laid down my part, and then Destin went in, laid down his part. He killed it. And by the time we were done, we were all just like dancing and grooving. And throughout the entire experience, we were just like dancing to it because we were like, yeah, this is the next single. So this record is like dear to my heart because it's the first like fun record I've made is 2012, I would say. So I'm extremely excited. And Locked In is really just like, you know how some girls be like, what's the pen? Give me the pen. I don't care about nothing you're saying. Give me the pen. It's just a fun record. Like it's just kind of like on that city girl kind of vibe a little bit, but nothing too crazy.
I love it. I love it. I'm a part. Yeah, so the hook, because I know you were still talking, the hook just came right to you. Let's recite that hook and kind of like I like to dissect songs. I'm sorry, because I'm actually a DJ.
Oh yeah.
Past artist, so I think about it all the time. But like, let's dissect the hook of this song because it will be played later in the interview or later in the show, and I want to make sure they play. Okay, that's what she was talking about. Okay. So let's dive the hook and the hook on this song.
Definitely. Yeah, the hook is very simple. It's like, I got you locked in. I got you locked in. I got you locked in. Now tell me what's the pin. I got you locked in. Yeah, it's very repetitive. And locked in is like everybody be saying that, you know. So I wanted it to be like, you know, people could use it for different things if they wanted to.
So I like the fact that repetitive and simple because it's catchy, TikTokable, and all this nice hot stuff that's going on in the industry these days. And with the fact that you've grown with the industry, it helps with the transitions and keeping up with the trends and being your own, by the way, because keeping up with the trends ain't all that, but being your own trend and setting your own interests. Because you said a Brazilian funk. Ain't nobody talking about Brazilian funk. Nobody probably even been to Brazil. Half the people talk about it ain't never put their feet in the soil. So to even be that like extensive with how you picked your beat for this song is massive. So once again, another kudos for you being strategized in your team. And I just like to dissect the song. I'm sorry. Like that's the
Thank
whole
you.
part. Like that's the hot talent, the hot
Thank
topic.
you. No, I appreciate that.
It's just different.
This is my first time I've done that, like in an interview. Yeah, no, that's cool. I appreciate it.
Because it's like, of course it's not the, the recorded version and all that, but it's more like, okay, hey, this is the hook before the interview is played, before the song is played. This is how it came up. It's a Brazilian funk. This is how people want to know that. That's why sometimes I like to ask it, because we don't know what you do in the studio. We weren't there. We didn't get the video. We didn't see the live, but now we can re-envision and relive it with you when you talk about it and how it came about. So before we get to the end of this interview and we dissect, I always like to ask the talent 2 questions. I gotta think of them because it's been a minute of how I format these questions. I go by the energy, so they're not like scripted. None of the Hotzone interviews are scripted, by the way. So it's more like I gotta go by your energy. So if you had to pick, these are like, I'm gonna do like, do a few of them. If you had to pick Bow Wow or Chris Brown to go out on an island with, mind you, you got one mic, one keyboard. Listen, this is gonna get crazy. I'm making this up on the spot, by the way. You got one mic, one keyboard. You gotta, and you gotta make a song, by the way. So you gotta think about the 2 people you're gonna make, them 2. Who would you make the best song with? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So you got Bow Wow, Chris Brown. You're on a deserted island with a keyboard, one mic, and sharks in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you make? Who would you pick to make the best, like, unique vibe song with?
I think I'm going with Chris Brown. I think I know if I go with Chris Brown, I'm going with Chris Brown for sure. On an island with sharks swimming. It's gonna have to be like something islandy. We're gonna make something like islandy and fun and upbeat. He would have that radio hit. I would be going with Chris Brown.
Yes. And that was like, I kind of did Bow Wow no justice. So if Bow Wow ever see this video, please don't ever do it personally. I just thought of you first. You were the first one that came out of my mind. But so that was the first question. And it's very like, it's out of the order. I just picked that out of the sky. I never wrote that down. My next question is, if you can collab with anybody, not Chris Brown, obviously, if you can collaborate with anybody, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh my gosh.
And why?
Oh my gosh. At the moment, I have to say Prince. I have been playing like his first album over and over and over and over. And I just am obsessed with how much he pays attention to detail, from the production to vocals. I would most definitely love to do something with him. And like, yes. Yeah, that's like a dream.
I love it. Favorite movie?
Love Jones. I love a good Black romance. That's just, you know it.
You know it. Favorite color?
You can't go wrong with like.
Favorite color?
Favorite color is royal blue.
Hey, I liked you. You know, we love them blue. Look at the nails. We love them blue.
That's what I was gonna say. You got it on.
Yeah, and the light, like everything, and all that. Like, I just love blue. Vibe with DJ Most Precious all day, every day. So before we get out of here, is there I want to make sure you do your social medias. Please let them know how to find you and who any shout outs you have. Let's get that done and get that in here. I should say, not get that done, but let's get it in here so we make sure it's highlighted as best as possible. Your floor.
Yeah. Yes. Hey, you guys, my name is TwentyXII. You can follow me on all social media platforms at 20XII. And my Instagram handle is 20TWELVV. So you can follow me, look up 2012. The 12 is Roman numeral. So yeah. And stay tuned, because there's a lot coming. There's a lot going on. And I promise you guys, when you guys hear the new stuff that's going on, it's going to be just as futuristic, just as cool as the name sounds. So just stay tuned.
She knew this. She's not new to this. She's true to this, y'all. Like, she knows what So before we get out, do you have any special shout outs that you would like to say or that you would like to make sure is highlighted?
I would definitely say thank you so much for having me. You are super duper dope. I love your energy. Again, my name is 2012. That's 20XII. And you can follow me on all social media platforms to keep up. So thank you for having me. And stream locked in.
There we go. I was waiting on that, y'all. Make sure y'all stream Locked In featuring Destin. It's a new Brazilian funk mixed with US. Y'all just don't know what y'all go get. Until y'all press play and support and build these streams up. DSPs matter. Not local. Indie music matters. Support them because they matter. Okay? It's hard doing it without like the full $1 million, $1 trillion budgets. So go get their streams up so they can top rank and they can get those royalty checks and be in mine ASCAP.
Okay.
Time everybody, y'all.
It's 2012, and I have had the best experience here in the High with DJ Most Precious. Thank you so much for having me, and stream my new single, Locked In, featuring Destin Laurel.
Y'all heard it first. Y'all know what it is. DJ Most Precious in the Hot Zone. Thank you so much. This episode is actually powered by Most Precious Promotions and Productions. Also, 55thevibe.com. In the meantime, everybody, take care, be safe, and get those vibes, man. Get those vibes while you locked in with 2012 and featuring Destin. In the meantime, check y'all later.
Now let's be more than